Okay, so this is the second video about finding limits algebraically. So if you haven't seen the first one, go back and see that one to know how to factor and rationalize. In this problem, what we're going to do is substitute in the 4 because that's the x value that we're interested in. But when you do that, you'll get 1/6 minus 1/6 on top and 4 minus 4 on bottom, which results in a 0 over 0. So it's indeterminate. So we're going to have to figure out how we're going to deal with this situation. So the way we're going to deal with this, I think it's always easiest to go back to middle school mathematics and kind of rewrite this limit as 1 over x plus 2 minus 1 over 6. Put that in parentheses and write the division symbol. And then you could write x minus 4. Okay? So if you're basically dividing by x minus 4, then we could actually just change that to multiplication, right? And multiply by 1 over x minus 4. Okay, now let's see what happens there. Okay, so this problem might take a little bit more space than what I've allotted you on this worksheet, and I apologize for that, but I think that it'd be best if you had a separate sheet of paper and you did this one. So what we're going to look at is we're multiplying, right? So basically we can distribute this back in. So we have the limit as x approaches 4 of 1 over x plus 2 times x minus 4 minus, this is 1/6, so we're just going to say 1 over 6 and then x minus 4. So basically the x minus 4 got distributed in the denominator, the 1 got distributed in the numerator. Okay, so basically we're just subtracting two fractions. Well, if you're going to subtract two fractions, you need a common denominator. So I'll need a 6 on that one. And this one will need an x plus 2. So we'll put the x plus 2 on top and bottom. Then what we're going to have to do is subtract. So instead of writing subtracting between fractions, I like to write a plus and then a negative term up here. I'll be distributing that -1 in the next step to conserve a little bit more space. So we have the limit as x approaches 4, and on top I have 6 minus x minus 2. And I'm going to rewrite my denominator. It's your common denominator. We just rearrange these factors, that's fine. Okay, 6 minus 2 is a regular 4, a positive 4, so we're going to write negative x, positive 4, negative x plus 4, and then 6, x minus 4, x plus 2. I thought I messed up. But so from there, that says negative x plus 4 and that says x minus 4. That's not exactly what we need. We need to take out a negative, limit as x approaches 4, take out the negative, and now I have a positive x minus 4 all over 6, x minus 4, x plus 2, and now we have two factors that will cancel out. Okay, now that those factors cancel out, I'll have a -1 on top and take this 4 and put it in where it belongs. 4 plus 2 is 6, and 6 times 6 is 36. Alright, so that is the answer for that problem. Wish I could zoom out enough to show you the whole thing. There you go. That's that one. Alright, so I'm going to pause the video so we can focus on the next one. Okay guys, so I paused the video so that I could ask a friend if there's a quicker way to do any of these problems, and there's just not. So you're just going to have to muddle through some of this algebra, okay? And make sure that you're not making too many mistakes. You know, knowing your algebra is really going to be helpful in calculus anyway. So let's take a look at this problem. If I substituted in 1, I would get 0 over 0, which is an indeterminate form. So I'm going to write down the limit as x approaches 1. I'm going to rewrite this as x minus 1 divided by 3 over x minus 3. Wait a second. Alright, so I could definitely have rewritten that as a multiplication. Okay, so limit as x goes to 1, x minus 1 multiplied by 1 over 3 over x. Now, I noticed that these two terms don't have the same x in the denominator. This one has a 1 in the denominator, so let's go ahead and give it an x. 3 over x minus 3x over x. So now that has a common denominator. And that's the name of this game. We're going to basically find common denominators, combine like terms, and then eventually cancel out some fraction, or I'm sorry, some factor. 1 over 3 minus 3x over x. Well, that's interesting. This is another fraction. So instead of rewriting it 1 times all this, it's 1 divided by that. So basically, just flip this fraction. X over 3 minus 3x. So then we'll have x minus 1, the limit as x approaches 1, and then we have x times x minus 1 on top. I put that x in front. And then I have 3 minus 3x. Well, I could factor out a 3, but then that leaves me with 1 minus x. Okay, so these are very close to each other, so I just need to take a negative out of one of them. I'm going to take a negative out of the denominator because I think, well, I don't know, maybe it's just because that's what I've always done, is just taking it out whenever the negative was in front of the x. So x minus 1, negative 3, and then this I'm going to rewrite it as positive x and minus 1. Now the x minus 1's cancel, and in that same step I like to go ahead and drop that 1 in. So my final answer is actually just negative 1/3. Alright, happy face.